Oh, Ryan Lowe is back in town this week at the Argyle, but the fans' attention is not on that particular manager. It's on their own one. And we're here with Jaden and Craig to discuss their views on the under pressure Ian Foster. We're going to talk about the Blackburn game. We're also going to look ahead to the Preston game. We're also going to talk about VAR and referees. First of all, Jaden, Craig, we all right this week? It's been a bit hair and scaring for Plymouth, but we keeping calm, yeah?
Yeah, just about.
Okay. Craig looks like he's about to explode, so I'll go to him first. Craig, talk us through the Blackburn game and where does it leave your manager?
Do you know what? I think Blackburn just gives them a state of execution. I think we were bang average. We should have had three. I think it was only for Siren Island that made Foster made the changes that we really got anything out of the game. Of course, Morgan Whittaker popping up, saving us again. But I just don't think it was Foster that made those substitutions. It was Siren Island that forced him into those changes. But I think it just pulled water on the fires. But if we get battered by Preston at the weekend, I can see this reigniting back into full-scale war again.
Yeah. Jaden, the Blackburn fan earlier said, thank goodness Plymouth were so poor that they managed to get a 1-1 draw down to 10 men for the last 40 minutes of the game. Should you have won that more handsome? Well, should you have won it handsomely that game?
I mean, we were poor in goal, but I don't in front of goal. Sorry, but I don't think it was a poor performance necessarily. We started the game terribly. Obviously, they scored straight away, and the first thing that came to my mind when they scored was this is going to be a battering, and it turned out to be the complete opposite. We battered them for the rest of the game. But yeah, Hardy missed 3 big chances. We probably missed about 6 big chances. It could have been 5-1 on another day. So, yeah, I think it was very unlucky, but yeah, that is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, Ian Foster's not banging them goals in. It's on the strikers, isn't it, Craig? You can't blame him for strikers not taking their chances, surely.
No, I can't. But he was making changes on the 70th minute. They've been down to 10 men for through about 10 to 15 minutes by that point. Chuck everybody on. Everybody knows in the championship now, we're going to make substitutions on the 70th minute. So if you can get 1 goal, get 2 goals, our goal going to respond in the 70th minute. It's just typical Ian Foster, 70-minute king he is.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the highest XGs that game, 2.3. Yeah. It's huge. I think it was one of the highest you've had for a while since the Watford 3-3 game in January. Home form though, you've played some tough teams at home, and here comes another one in Preston. Jaden, is this a must win?
I mean, I said 2 weeks ago, I think this was a must win, but I think it's a must draw. I think you have to get a point out of this game. Otherwise, I think Ian Foster has to go.
Right. So losing, he's gone, Craig, yeah?
Do you know what? I'm going to stick my neck out here, and I'm probably going to get mauled by the Preston fans after this, but I genuinely think we are going to win this game. I've got a sneaky feeling that the fans are going to get behind the manager, get behind the team for 90 minutes, regardless of what your thoughts, just to put a sock in the mouth of Ryan Lowe. I think we need to beat him. I think we're going to win this game. Even though my thoughts on the manager, I do think we are going to win this game.
Okay. So just because, a snake is in town, it's going to unite the fans, yeah?
Well, it could do. It could be the thing, just, for a rallying cause behind the manager and potentially something to build on after, 2 back results, hopefully.
Okay. Let's bring in our Preston fan because, of course, you were cheering for Preston this weekend to, of course, beat Stoke. They didn't. One of the poorest performances of the calendar year, said one Preston fan on Twitter. They got what they deserved. Joey, was that about right?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think Stoke probably deserved the win. We just weren't in the game at all. I don't know whether the midweek postponement in the last minute sort of put us back a bit. We were probably ready for a game then, and so he sort of knocked us a bit. But we just never really got going. Even when we equalised, you think that's our sort of, goalpost to actually go on and attack him more. But we just sort of I think we just thought, a point's good enough considering how bad we were playing. So no, it was a poor performance all around, really. And I don't think Ryan Lowe got it tactically right. I think he was basically playing was trying to hope to play as we have been recently against these better teams, I suppose. But it was never going to work against Stoke, who don't play across the back like the other teams have been doing, and we've been playing high press. That's worked really well for us, but we didn't adapt, and or even our defender suggested the same thing that after the game, which I think was a bit of a dig at the manager, that we just didn't adapt.
Okay. What sort of reception will Mr. Lowe get to Jaden when he steps out into the dugout?
Well, I don't suspect a good one, but it's been a while since he left us now. It doesn't make our feelings towards him any better, but I'm sure that it's all died down a bit, in the sort of, it's not really as much a rivalry as it first was. But yeah, we'll definitely want to win this game. The fans will want to get behind the manager, and they won't want to give like Ryan Lowe any kind of good reception.
Okay, Craig. This reverse fixture was won by Preston. They actually were top of the table. Then, if you win this, how many more wins do you think you need to be safe?
I still think there are points to be gained. I think we could beat Bristol City at home. I think we could get results against QPR at home. And there's a possible opportunity of points at Stoke. So I potentially think 51 points. But I do think we could potentially get 2 wins against QPR and Bristol City at home.
Okay. Does he need to change the team in any way, Jaden, to beat Preston?
Well, it just depends, Barley Mumba's suspended now for this game, and Norwich as well. So he don't really have a choice. He's going to have to change it in some ways. But I think we can stick to a similar team. Well, they're all going to be rested. It's a week off. There's no midweek matches this week. So I don't think there's any need to change it too much.
Right, okay. I'll ask you both before we go and get some score predictions. There's been some very dodgy refereeing decisions in some championship games. Plymouth, you've documented yourselves over the course of this year that you have not benefited from some very dodgy decisions. First of all, I'm going to ask you, what was the worst refereeing call you think you've seen so far this year, and does it lend you to wanting VAR in the championship? Craig, you go first on this one for us.
I can think of 2. I think the Ballymumba's goal against Southampton. That's number 1. Number 2, and I can think of Coventry away. So I can think of those 2 results.
Okay. Jaden?
The one that springs to my mind is, I think it was Millwall at home, was it?
Yes, another one.
They scored a goal on like the 89th minute, and they basically punched Keslade into the floor before they scored. Yeah, that's the one that comes to my mind.
Okay. Does it make you want VAR in the championship, Jaden?
No, not at all. But I think it's best to just leave them to do their thing. VAR's proved not very useful. It's not changing enough decisions in the Premier League, especially last weekend with a couple of bad decisions. In the Liverpool City game and the Forest Brighton as well. Yeah, it doesn't warrant VAR in the championship for me.
Okay, Craig?
I would like to see it in the championship. I would. I think it would add an interesting dynamic, providing they can get the right personnel to use it effectively. It would, hopefully improve the refereeing standing in the championship, because we all know it's atrocious and woeful. I think I would like to see VAR in the championship. Would be a new addition.
Okay, you're the only club I think we've spoken to so far that have said yes to it. That's that's interesting. Just shows you've probably been most affected by dodgy decisions. Yeah. Okay. All right then, Joey, you're travelling to Home Park then this weekend. How did Plymouth beat you? Tell the Plymouth fans.
I think they beat us by playing long ball, to be honest, if they can do that, because we seem to struggle against teams that play like us. So if they high press, again, we'll probably struggle. If they play around the back, then we'll probably get the fruits of the rewards and stuff from that, because that's the way we seem to win games at the moment, is high pressing and trying to just make them make a mistake. But I can't imagine a team like Plymouth, who are near the bottom, are going to be wanting to do that, because you don't want to take any risk. And yeah, that's why we're sort of finding our rewards in a minute. So if they can't do that, then we may struggle.
Okay, let's have some score predictions from me then. Craig, you go first.
I'm going to go 2-1 Argyle.
Jaden.
Cooper's back, so I'm hoping we're going to keep a clean sheet. So I'm going to go with 1-0 Argyle.
Okay, Joey.
I can't have 3 people going to Plymouth, so I'm going to go 1-1. Cagey affair. I think the key is to try and get a goal early, get the fans on the back of Foster and stuff. But if we can't do that, then it might be a long goal game.
Okay. All right. Cheers for joining us then. It is a huge game this weekend. Plymouth against Preston, both ends of the table. Enjoy it. We'll catch up with you after the international break. You got a week off from moaning at us. See you next week.
Cheers, Mark.